So this is the little potentiometer representation for the throttle. That's the housing that will hold it in place against the outside shell of the DJI remote control. This is the shaft that will go into the handle of the throttle and operate the potentiometer. And on the end of the shaft is a little lock to stop the shaft pulling out of the housing, and you'll notice a little notch on the top there. Now that's to take this spring, which I'm borrowing from some clothes pegs. The spring's there to return the handle to neutral, because unlike a real throttle, it's not where you set it. It's a down and an up with a neutral. Then on the shaft there's two bearings to keep everything nice and stiff. These are just standard 8mm center bearings from roller skates, and obviously they're incorporated into the main housing of the throttle mechanism. Now that's the bit that screws to the outside of the DJI remote control. The next thing to add is the handle itself. Here's the handle. Went with a vertical design, and in the end I was thinking about more like a aircraft throttles, but this will allow room for the my iPad on the display. Then this area up here is for the camera tilt mechanism, which is that red thing there, which is being borrowed straight out of the old DJI controller. Then I've capped the handle off there, so it's nice and tidy and finished. Now with the wireframe you can see there's a tube incorporated in the design going from the throttle tilt mechanism down through the handle and joining the shaft. So I'll cut a slot in the shaft, thread that cable through there, the cable will go through the shaft and then out into the DJI controller on the other side of the throttle. Here are the parts of the throttle. I've got the base part already attached to the Phantom controller. This is the main housing, which takes the two skateboard bearings. This is the lock, which will lock the shaft from coming out of the housing, and also has the return nodule for the springs, so that this will spring out and return the throttle to center. So that will all go on there like that, and the handle goes on there. That'll be glued, super glue, and then the end cap goes on there, and that's the assembly. And obviously that's the gap where the camera tilt wheel goes. So the next stage is to remove the bits and pieces from the original control sticks and the shutter button and the camera tilt wheel, and move them out to these bits. So that's what it's looking like at the moment.